doing?
Good.
It's your first foray into Comic-Con?
Yeah, for me, this is my first. I know it's not yours.
Done it once.
But, yeah,
It's an experience.
it is.
What? So did you guys do with everyone else the live stage this morning? Kind of, you had the fan interaction. How's that been so far? Because sci-fi vampire fans tend to be vocal and loud and really get into their shows.
I love it. It's nice to see passion and fandom and enthusiasm for work and for lore, and it's just great. Like I love the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's fun to be a part of a series that's so beloved because the fans are so energetic and passionate, which makes it a lot more fun for us.
Was it a little bit more nerve-wracking going into a project that already had like a fan base from like a book, or did you just kind of?
For me, it was one of the things that attracted me to it because you know that there's source material that's so well respected and have been well received, and so right away there's a certain pedigree that comes with the project that I can appreciate, and then seeing the people that were adapting it and bringing it to the series format was also another step for me to get involved. So, yeah, I loved it.
So did you guys go back to the source material and read it after you?
I did, yeah. After it got picked up, I read the first book to kind of see what was going on, and you understand the hype. And I think that's the most exciting thing about it having such a built-in fan base is you just get it. You're like, I totally agree. These books are amazing. So yeah, it's just so good. Obviously, Babcock in the books is a male, so they've just some really minor differences with the TV show. But some of their backstory is similar, some of their life experiences are similar, and then obviously a pretty life-changing decision they make is very similar, where they both murder their parents.
So vampires, pandemics, and near future scenarios have become quite popular in the media over the past 10 years. How do you say the show incorporates these elements while still maintaining its fresh and unique atmosphere?
Well, I think exactly in what you said is the answer, is that it incorporates it now. It's dealing with today versus lifting it into something that we can identify but feels removed from reality.
Yeah.
Liz has done a wonderful job of making it so painfully 2018 and where we are and some of the things we read about in the papers or come through on social media. And, that kind of thinly veiled thing that we kind of hear about that the government may or may not be doing, what's the lie, what's the truth, and, even in the pilot episode, just seeing the news reporting about this guy who's abducted this young girl, and then understanding what the story is, it kind of plays on, truth and fiction as well, leading into a genre, world. So it's interesting. I love the setup. Is what I find most unique about it. That was a very long answer to that question.
So we've seen the pilot, but what can you guys kind of tell us about the season moving forward? I know you guys have shot some up to episode 5, but each of your storylines, and what can we kind of expect?
It's complicated in a very good way at the top of it. Morally dubious thing, and then she manages to, in a very truthful and logical way, to ratchet the tension further and further while still getting to know the characters more and more intimately. That's as an overall. So that was me avoiding telling you any spoilers about my character, but that was it. Maybe you have something.
Yeah, they do. They do a great job in the writing, in exploring each character's backstory. Every character will have an episode where they kind of flesh it all out, and you learn more about where they came from and why they ended up there. And what I found so fascinating. Now I don't know if I can say this.
Yes, you can.
Yes, it's tricky.
Liz said you can. You're good.
We have to, the virals they have to tell their story in order to save their lives. It's important. And the way that they manage to do that in the writing is so clever. Yeah.
Well, it seems from the pilot that you guys have a relationship that pre-exists you becoming a viral. Are we going to learn about that sooner, or is it going to kind of be drawn out across this season?
Sooner. I think you'll understand the relationship and the facility and the use of time. The title of the novel itself deals with the passage of time, and Liz, she being Liz, deals, and the writing team deals with time in a very unique way, how we weave and move in and out of storytelling and flashbacks and getting to know people's lives and relationships. Just little slices of them that, again, keep building everything forward. But we'll learn about it soon.
And how long do you spend in the makeup chair?
Like 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. Takes a while. Got the contacts and the fangs and the veins and yeah. Then they color it all in with the detail. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
From an acting standpoint, does it require a lot of different prep from you to be like viral day or versus like flashback day where you're like
Yeah, that's kind of my favorite part. It's so fun. We get to wear so many hats. So like in all the flashbacks, we're just regular humans, and you see us with all of our flaws and all of the tension and what triumphs or struggles they're dealing with at that time. Then they get to Project Noah, and we're a little more catatonic, kind of animal-like. And then we get into mindscaping, which is kind of when we get into their minds, where you see how they are after the experiment a little bit. So there's so much to play with, which is really fun.
And I know you guys are not saying quite about what happened, but I'm shooting almost the 5 episodes here and there. Is there one of those 5 that you guys are very excited for fans to see?
You know, every time I'm like, this has got to be the one now that we've peaked and we have to do for a lull. But it manages to keep building. I'd say, for me, you have amazing stuff in 3. You know, and it's interesting because it's such a strong ensemble. Each episode kind of shines a light on a new player, so you get to see a more character-centric episode at a different time. But I would say 3 and
yeah, I'm
4
excited
is
for
really 3 and 4 is already building, and I don't know where it goes. I know 5 just because I read it and got to shoot it in about 24 hours.
Yeah.
But or start shooting it. But yeah, it's building.
So your character seems to get to work with a lot of the cast just because of who you are. Is there anyone that you haven't worked yet with that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, this is one of those funny shows where you can kind of, it's like a little, I like mainly work with Vince, but I don't have any scenes with Mark Paul or Emmanuel. I have a scene, I get to work with Sanaya with Amy soon, which I'm really excited about. But it'll be interesting. I know it's something we talk about a lot, where we like see each other in passing, and it's like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? But I think by the end, I'll be curious to see if that changes.
What is it that appeals to you guys about your characters? Are there any standout attributes that you really like to dig into?
I liked how imperfect Shauna was. She's just kind of this bundle of emotion. And she's been a little misguided, and I think a lot of the characters kind of fell through the cracks a little bit as far as society goes. The people who were supposed to have their back didn't have their back, and that's really devastating and frustrating. So there's a lot of emotional layer. Yeah, Shauna's just like angry, she's frustrated, she's resentful, and they tied her all up in this interesting package.
For me, it's like this collision of duty and morality, where you are trained from a very young age to serve your country and to be a soldier and to take orders and a chain of command in life. And you then get this incredible opportunity to run a facility which its objective is to make humankind better, to heal people, to cure the world's woes. But your same duty is also might be destroying it. And then the isolation, how that can work on someone being away from civilization, you know, being cooped up on a mountain in a lab, you know, and dealing with that on a 24/7 basis. So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
Will we see flashbacks of kind of how your character got involved and flashbacks with your character and Brad, like so that can go there?
You know, that's interesting. I can't rule it out. but definitely we that relationship gets explored with Brad and Clyde. Yeah.
Are we going to get to see, I know, Mark, we got to see in the pilot some action scenes and fight scenes and stuff. Is that something you guys get into more? Are we going to, is there more action scenes kind of per episode? And if so, what was like that prep like for you to do?
Well, I just started getting into the gun training. I don't know if...
I got a little action. It's fun. They kind of let me do everything, which I was surprised by and happily surprised. We get to see Shauna in some flashbacks. It gets a little rough. And then obviously when the virals are attacking, that's kind of stunt-based also, which is, it's fun.
I think it would be a great spoof to have, like, cut to a vampire that's like, well, I work with actors about what it's like to play me. And it's very challenging because, you know, who's committed and who isn't. And, like, if you have a vampire coach, that's on the project.
That's what we all aspire to now.
That would be, that would be great.
You're not dead enough. You need to keep working.
Yeah.
Translate some Romanian dialect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.